now than I was January 19th. I am, grief is a journey,
You could definitely call Regina King the reigning queen of Hollywood. She's been a major force for decades, and her star continues to shine brightly. But lately, many of you might be wondering where the Oscar and Emmy-winning superstar has been. Let me fill you in. She has been through hell and back. The reason we haven't heard much about her recently involves a heart-wrenching love story and the even greater tragedy of losing her son. Keep watching to discover tragic details, as now Regina King reveals why she is struggling with life. Regina King's son ended his own life. Nothing could have prepared Regina for the profound pain of losing her only son, Ian Alexander Jr. The 26-year-old musician who performed under the name Dieudonné tragically took his own life in January 2022. Just days before his death, Ian Jr. shared a troubling message on Twitter: "I don't think Instagram is healthy for me." This post sparked conversations about the impact of social media on his mental health. Ian Jr. had recently released 2 singles on Spotify, Work It Out in 2021 and Green Eyes in 2022. He was set to perform in Los Angeles shortly after his death, as noted in his last Instagram update. Regina King expressed the depth of her family's grief in a statement to People. "Our family is devastated at the deepest level by the loss of Ian. He was such a bright light who cared so deeply about the happiness of others. Our family asks for respectful consideration during this private time. Thank you." Regina King recently opened up about her ongoing grief and feelings of guilt following the tragic death of her son, Ian Alexander Jr. In a poignant interview with Robin Roberts on Good Morning America, King, who is now 53, shared that the sadness she feels will never fully go away. Reflecting on the 2 years since Ian's passing, King admitted, "Sometimes a lot of guilt comes over me." She revealed that as a parent who has lost a child, she constantly wrestles with thoughts of what she could have done differently to prevent his death. Since Ian Alexander Jr.'s death, Regina King has had the time to reflect deeply on his decision. In an emotional conversation with Robin Roberts, King revealed that she now respects and understands Ian's choice to leave this world. She acknowledged that this understanding can be difficult for others to grasp, as they did not share Ian's experiences or journey. King expressed the importance of honoring her son in his entirety. "I speak about him in the present because he is always with me," she shared. She emphasized the joy and happiness Ian brought into their lives, maintaining that his memory continues to live on with her. When discussing depression, King noted that people often have preconceived notions about how it should manifest, expecting it to always appear heavy and intense. She explained that this isn't always the reality. Reflecting on her own experience, King admitted that she was initially very angry with God, questioning why such a burden was placed on Ian. Despite all the therapy, psychiatric help, and programs they had gone through, Ian expressed his exhaustion with the process, telling his mother, "I'm tired of talking, Mom." Regina King, star of If Beale Street Could Talk, has shared that being Ian's mom is her favorite thing about herself. She noted that she can't express this with a smile or through tears without deeply respecting the journey she and her son went through. King described how she sometimes feels Ian's physical presence, which can evoke laughter or a smile, but other times his absence feels overwhelmingly loud. She acknowledges that her grief has transformed her, making her a different person than she was before Ian's death. King now views grief as a journey and love that has no place to go. She recognized that while many share in grief, her experience is uniquely hers. "No one else is Ian's mom. Only me," she said. She accepts that the sadness will always be with her, understanding that it's a permanent part of her life. As she reflects on her emotions, She sees the sadness as a testament to how much Ian meant to her, describing it as happy sorrow. But this tragic event is just one chapter in Regina King's life. Far from being the only significant moment, it's part of a much larger story. Regina has faced her share of hardships, and she's been open about them in interviews, sharing the painful experiences that have shaped her into the artist and woman she is today. Let's explore where it all began and how these challenges have influenced her journey. At 53, Regina King reveals why she is struggling with life. You could definitely call Regina King the reigning queen of Hollywood. She's been a major force for decades, and her star continues to shine brightly. But lately, many of you might be wondering where the Oscar and Emmy-winning superstar has been. Let me fill you in. She has been through hell and back. The reason we haven't heard much about her recently involves a heart-wrenching love story and the even greater tragedy of losing her son. Keep watching to discover tragic details as now Regina King reveals why she is struggling with life. She turned down projects to take care of her son. In balancing her career and family life, Regina King faced a tough decision: prioritize her son, Ian Alexander Jr., over her acting career. Though she didn't abandon her work entirely, she made a significant compromise by choosing not to accept any acting roles that required leaving their hometown. When asked about the difficulty of turning down projects in a 2021 interview with CBS This Morning Saturday, King responded without hesitation. "No," she said. "I've seen so many examples of parents who had to choose not to be consistently present in their children's lives and the consequences of that. I knew that wasn't the life I wanted for my son." King reflected on this decision while discussing her career risks with InStyle, highlighting that one of the biggest risks she took was refusing to work outside of Los Angeles when Ian was around 9 years old. This choice meant she had to accept more television roles and turn down certain movie opportunities, but she had no regrets. "That's how my TV career started," she told She Knows. "Making the tough choice often leads you down a beautiful path." Anti-black racism has weighed heavily on Regina King. Being black in America comes with its own painful challenges, a reality Regina King knows well. One aspect that deeply affects her is how black men are often portrayed in the media in narrow, stereotypical ways. Through her directorial debut in 2020's One Night in Miami, she aimed to shift that narrative. The film, which centers around a fictionalized conversation between Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, Sam Cooke, and Jim Brown, resonated with King on a personal level. "It really humanized them," she told InStyle. "I feel like we don't get the opportunity to see black men like this, and most of us have black men in our lives who are this layered, who have this much love, strength, and vulnerability." The same year, amidst the Black Lives Matter protests, King felt compelled to use her platform to advocate for change. She wore a T-shirt featuring Breonna Taylor's image, emblazoned with the words, "Say her name," to the 2020 Emmys, a powerful statement in response to Taylor's death at the hands of police in her own home. For King, the entertainment industry has a responsibility to portray the harsh reality of race relations in America, particularly regarding police violence. Hollywood has been responsible for perpetuating the idea that officers should use excessive force on black people, and I'm not down with that, King told Harper's Bazaar in 2021. On the flip side, I've also been a part of projects that shine a light on the truth of the police's relationship with the black community. Regina King has often felt held back as a black woman. Regina King is acutely aware of navigating life at the intersection of blackness and womanhood, a combination that has presented unique challenges throughout her career. When filmmaker Gina Prince Bythewood asked her in The Hollywood Reporter if she felt like she was touching greatness, King didn't directly answer the question. Reflecting on why she hesitated, she explained, "I feel like as black women, we are so conditioned to not feel that it's okay to want to be great." This deeply ingrained mindset shaped her response, But she also acknowledged the resilience of Black women. You give us a little window, we're going to kick it all the way open and take that moment. Her Miss Congeniality to co-star Sandra Bullock touched on their shared experience of womanhood, telling Vanity Fair, "We've always had to be scrappy and put your head down and do the work, and be grateful for what you have. As a Black woman, King has had to do that 1,000 times more." In an interview with The Guardian, King elaborated on how her identity impacted her confidence early in her career, making her hesitant to take risks. "I don't think that that's specific to being Black and being a woman. But I do feel like being Black and being a woman, it does make it harder to break through those moments," she shared. Despite these obstacles, King's perseverance has led her to become a trailblazing force in Hollywood, embodying strength and determination through her work. She had to witness her son navigate racism. When Regina King's son, Ian Alexander Jr., was young, he didn't fully grasp the complexities of race. He saw his diverse group of friends as his rainbow coalition, as King affectionately described it. In a 2021 interview with The Hollywood Reporter, King shared a story from when Ian was a preteen. He once asked her, "Why, when you guys, meaning adults, talk, do you always have to ask what color someone was?" It was a reflection of his innocence at the time, not yet fully aware of how race could shape experiences. As Ian grew older, however, his awareness of racial dynamics deepened. King explained that by the time he hit his teenage years, his friend group had become predominantly Black. It was because certain things were happening in conversations that were making him go, "Woo, okay, this doesn't feel right." Certain things that some of the white boys would say that he was like, "Yo, you shouldn't feel comfortable saying that," she recalled. Ian was beginning to see the undercurrents of racism even among people he knew well. Though it took time for Ian to understand some of the lessons his mother tried to impart, he never lost sight of the immense love and support she gave him. On King's birthday in January 2021, Ian expressed his gratitude on Instagram, writing, "To have you as my mother is the greatest gift I could ask for. To be all that you are while always having the time to be there, love and support me unconditionally is truly remarkable." His heartfelt words spoke to the deep bond they shared and the lasting impact she had on him. Regina King became used to bottling her emotions. The pandemic brought emotional upheaval to people across the globe, and Regina King was no exception. Like many, she found herself grappling with a surge of unexpected feelings during the isolation and uncertainty. Reflecting on this in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, King revealed, "Sometimes I feel myself trying to push the emotion down. During the pandemic, I've discovered just how much I've been doing that, protecting myself. I don't think I've cried more since I was probably 14. The experience forced her to confront long-buried emotions she had been suppressing for years. One of the hardest aspects of the pandemic for King was not being able to celebrate her directorial achievement, One Night in Miami, in the way it deserved. COVID-19 restrictions meant that King and her team couldn't share the film with audiences in theaters. Speaking with Vanity Fair, she became emotional, saying, "We never got the opportunity to see our film with an audience. I'm grateful to be healthy. I'm grateful that all of our crew and cast are healthy, but we didn't get a chance to share that." The absence of a communal viewing experience was a painful loss for a project that meant so much to her. Yet perhaps the most incomprehensible part of the pandemic for King was the personal loss it brought. Like many, she learned of friends and acquaintances who succumbed to the virus. In a vulnerable moment on CBS This Morning, Saturday, King teared up as she shared how the return to normal life had been bittersweet. "Sometimes it's as simple as going back to a regular store or a place you used to visit, and finding out that the face you knew so well is no longer with us." The weight of those small but significant losses added to the already heavy emotional toll she had been carrying. Despite facing numerous challenges throughout her life, Regina King has consistently shown resilience and determination. Regina King's epic advice for anyone feeling stuck. In an interview with Marie Claire, King shared how she has learned to navigate the complexities of life by staying rooted in the present while remaining open to whatever the future holds. She emphasized the importance of not dwelling on the past, saying, "I'm very good at choosing what needs to stay with me and what things need to be let go of." For King, this mindset is key to growth and evolution. Sometimes we can get so caught up in the moment and we don't ever leave that moment, and that's how some people get stuck. A central aspect of her philosophy is the belief that true growth comes from pushing beyond comfort zones. King explained, "Comfort zones are where dreams go to die, a powerful reminder that embracing discomfort is often necessary to reach new heights." This approach has clearly shaped her career, as she has consistently taken on challenging roles and ventured into directing with projects like One Night in Miami that challenge both her and her audiences. In the same interview, King also acknowledged that adversity is an unavoidable part of life, not just in Hollywood, but in the pursuit of broader societal change. She spoke candidly about the importance of standing up for what's right, even when it's uncomfortable. "Turn the other cheek? I don't quite believe that," King remarked. "Sometimes you're supposed to turn the other cheek. Sometimes they're supposed to get smacked back. Sometimes they're supposed to get knocked the FK out, you know? And taking that moment to assess the situation will help you." Time named Regina King one of its 100 most influential people. The year 2019 was a monumental one for Regina King, cementing her status as one of Hollywood's most powerful and versatile talents. That year, she claimed the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress for her stellar performance in If Beale Street Could Talk, a role that earned her widespread acclaim. But King didn't stop there. She also took on the lead in HBO's critically acclaimed series Watchmen, which pushed boundaries with its bold storytelling and timely social commentary. On top of her acting triumphs, 2019 saw King venture behind the camera, directing her first feature film, One Night in Miami, which premiered on Prime Video in 2020 and further showcased her incredible range as a filmmaker. The same year, Time magazine recognized her extraordinary influence by naming her one of its 100 most influential people. Fellow actress Viola Davis penned a heartfelt tribute in the magazine, describing King as someone who felt like absolute family from the moment they met. Their shared experiences as women of color in Hollywood bonded them deeply. Davis wrote, "We're on the battlegrounds together as women and women of color," highlighting the significance of King's success not just for herself, but for others following in her footsteps. Davis praised King for taking control of her creative destiny by directing and producing her own projects, noting how this fundamentally alters how people of color and women are viewed in the industry. King, she explained, is more than just an actor. She's a force actively reshaping the landscape of Hollywood. Davis concluded her tribute with an evocative proverb. "What the caterpillar calls the end of the world, the master calls the butterfly." She declared that King was undergoing her own transformation, becoming the most beautiful butterfly, a symbol of resilience, growth, and the endless possibilities she continues to create for herself and others. At 53, Regina King's journey has been marked by both incredible successes and personal challenges, reminding us that even those who seem to have it all still confront their own battles. Thanks for watching. As always, before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe to support us. Until next time, bye for now.